welcome to Chick Chat and Chill. Today we are going to dive into color. What makes you look drained? What makes you look energized? Stay tuned and we will let you know. Hi, welcome back to Chick Chat and Chill. I am Laura Fickett, your co-host. I own Fickett Financial Education and Business Coaching, where I love to help people make more money, live a better, wealthy life. So give me a call. Free consultations for everybody and anybody. I want to make sure I can give you a tip or trick. You don't actually ever have to even pay me or come through any of my workshops or services. I just want to try and make people have a better life through finances. Before we get into our topic for today, which is color, which is actually Antoinette's thing. I'm a money gal. Let me introduce Antoinette.
Hi. So I'm Antoinette. I'm the owner of Pixel This, and it's a full service design firm. So if you're looking for color that makes your business pop, your service pop, rather than looking drained and tired and old and ugly, then give me a call. So I think these are I love color. So I think a lot of people struggle with, they'll see something really cute on a model, maybe online or something in the store, and they're like, oh my God. And then they get home and put it on and it's like, wah, wah, wah. It's just terrible.
Thank God for free returns on Amazon. That's all I gotta say.
Does that happen a lot to you?
I'm becoming best friends with the people at Staples.
Oh, that's where they do returns?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mine's the UPS store. But yeah.
Either or, I know them as well.
Yeah.
But that happens online a lot because I'm like, it comes in and it just doesn't fit right, or it doesn't look right, or the color just makes me look tired, and it brings out the circles under my eyes.
Yeah.
Which... those are battle scars.
But I think we should go into a little bit of the whole color theory and just so people,
basics.
Some really, really basics.
For people like me.
Yeah. So first we'll start with hue, which is the actual color. So this is yellow, red, orange, green, blue. These are hues. Then if you want to say shades, that's taking that color and putting black into it. So
not white?
No. So that's a tint.
Oh. Ooh.
So if
I'm gonna have to take notes.
So that's a tint. And then when it comes to if you add gray to it, so if you're adding black and white, then it's a tone. So when you're talking about skin tones, that means there's all sorts of colors going on in your skin. So when you're looking for a good color palette for you to wear, first you have to look at, when you look at your face, you fall in some spectrum from light to dark. Are you fair? Are you light, medium, olive, brown? There's that whole range, which is, the lightness and darkness. And then there's also undertones. So that's the thing when I look at you, I might not necessarily know your undertones, but that I think dictates a lot more to color and what looks good on a person than what doesn't.
What do you think I am?
I would think you're warm.
Yeah, right. But I also just recently went from blonde hair to brown. And blonde is a cooler color and brown is a warmer color. So the brown actually makes, I'm all Italian. So this is more natural hair color, except for this was given to me by children. So and men. But now I've had to change into warmer colors, like a navy blue color instead of maybe a black. Looks different. I look less excited. Not that I'm going to give all my black away. So don't even think of calling me and be like, can I have all your black clothes? I love black. But when I had blonde hair, black looked better. And now that I have brown hair, navy blue looks better.
Yeah. And part of the reason, I think I could go through kind of some of the things but let's first start with the warm and cool tones. So first of all, some people might be like, how do I know if I'm warm toned or cool toned? So if you're cool tone, these are some things. If you look at the veins on the inside of your wrists, if they're bluish or even purpley, that means you're cool. If it skews towards green, that's more of a warmer tone. Yeah. Well, you're almost like neutral. Oh,
I'm fantastic.
but and then another
I'm a
test.
chameleon.
Well, there are people who are neutral, and most people they think neutral means I could do warm and cold. That's actually kind of a myth. I'll explain all that. But so that's one test. Another test is if you're. I would just take all your clothes off or
Oh,
stand in a white.
gross.
Or if
Not
you're like
here.
in a white towel. Yeah, do it now, Laura. So, but the whole point is you don't want to be skewed by color and you want to have something white next to your skin. Don't put it next to your face because your face is always a little redder than the rest of your body. But, maybe by your like chest or neck, and you want to compare that stark white piece of paper to you. Does your skin seem more warm and yellow compared to that, or is it more pinky? So if it's yellow, obviously you're warmer, pinky is cool. Another test is if you with jewelry. So silver jewelry looks really good on people with cooler tones. Gold looks better on people with warmer tones. And then for the females,
I wear silver.
then for the females of the group, I find it's very obvious with lipstick. Like if I put on anything that's like warmer tone, like a coral, something like that, I just look dead. Where if I do like a purple or something with cooler tones, it looks really good on me. So,
and I think your skin tone is like lighter with blonde hair, and that's cooler. And I remember people talking about it like as it relates to the seasons. So winter colors are like, black. And I would think like you could wear winter colors, but you could also wear like spring colors.
No.
No, or is it summer colors? Summer colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way the whole color wheel works, so think of it as like a circle. So you have
Hence the wheel.
yes. So it's like so if you take the circle, then you divide it in quadrants. So it's each one's a quarter. So you put winter, spring, summer, fall. So the cooler tones, like people with cooler, are the winter and summer, and the people with warmer tones are spring and fall.
Except spring is a lot of pastel, and I do not wear pastel.
No, so the way it kind of works, so you have the quadrants. So those are the seasons. Then up top, like the top of the thing is bright. So that's saturation. That's the purest form of the color without any black or white
without any dilution.
Yeah, so that's like the red, the yellow. So that's the top part. Then the furthest part, like where the winter is, that's where you would add black. So that's the dark, dark.
Adding the most black.
And then this side, that's where the spring and summer is where you add white. So those are lighter colors just in general. And then the bottom, they call it soft, which is basically gray. So it basically dilutes the color, so it's more muted, it's more
Who
soft.
looks good in gray?
Well, that's the other thing I want to get into. So this is with your hair. It didn't necessarily change your coloring, but it changed your contrast. So that's, I think, another thing that people don't realize. So for example, if you have light skin, light eyes, light hair, you're fairly low contrast. If you have dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes, you're also low contrast. It's when you have like dark hair, lighter skin, darker eyes, then you're a high contrast person. The more high contrast you are, the more deeper, like the more saturated colors you can get. And then you could also pair things on clothing wise that are more, vibrant and contrasty, where if you're don't have all that contrast, you could wear some of those muted, you know what I mean? You're not going to get grayed out by wearing gray, where some people, like if you look at like Meryl Streep, like she's very muted with her skin. It's almost like It doesn't really skew yellow or pink. It's almost like a gray tone. Her hair isn't a yellowy blonde, and her eyes are like a gray blue. She's a very muted person. She could pull off a gray suit very, very well. Where if you look at somebody who's like off the tops vibrant, not so much,
Right. Gray is a hard one, I think.
Yeah, so like Snow White, who has the dark hair and the red, like they could wear these bright blues and stuff like that. So your skin tone and undertones didn't change, but your contrast did, which is now all of a sudden where different color families go. And another thing to kind of keep in mind with that,
I'm getting lost because I'm like, my eyes are starting to glaze over. So for you guys that really love color like Antoinette, you're like, oh my gosh, this is such good content. For the rest of us, I'm like, I just need to know 5 colors I can wear. I'm just kidding.
but the thing is, if you kind of use that
Yes.
quadrant system, the whole point of kind of going through that, I know.
I think autumn is mine. Like autumn is the best colors for me.
Yeah, I would say that.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And then summer is like, I can do summer, which is like a brighter yellow, not a pale yellow, a brighter red, not like a pale red, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you probably already know like which colors really look good on you and which ones don't. I love the color like olive green or like that, but I can't I just can't get it to look okay on me. I always look like I should be in The Walking Dead.
Well, speaking of The Walking Dead, I brought a show and tell. Like that just washes me out like crazy. And some people look amazing in this color, not me. But I think that's the problem I had, and I'm guilty of it. Like I'll find something in this beautiful color. I'm like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And then you put it on, you're like, ugh. You know, you could.
I know.
I mean, you can honestly wear whatever you want. I mean, there's plenty of times I wear stuff that I know doesn't look good on me, but you know, like if I'm going shopping and I want people to think I'm sick. Because I don't want to be bothered, you know, or I'm working out at the gym and I don't want all these people coming up to me, just look sick, and people stay away. So, but
maybe this is why people have nudist colons. They don't have to deal with this stuff.
I can't find my color, so I'll just go naked. Yeah.
It's funny when you were saying like just get naked and look at your tones. I was reminded of this joke where this woman wanted to attract her older husband, and she was older herself into her 80s, and she decided I'm just gonna go out there naked, and she walks out there, and she says, do you like it? And he says, what? And she says, do you like how I look? And he says, I think your dress needs ironing.
Oh, God.
That would be my fear.
No, but I think that's why sometimes too, when people are like changing their hair color, sometimes they want to go like blonde or brunette. And if you don't use the right undertones, because even blondes can be warm and cool, even brunettes could be warm and cool. Like if you think of like Anne Hathaway, she's a very chocolate brown color. It's a cool brown.
Yeah.
Where if you think of, I don't know, J-Lo, it's a very warm honey brown.
Yes,
yeah.
like the honey.
Yeah. So those things, so a lot of times people will change their hair color and like, oh, it doesn't work for me. But a lot of it is if you get the right tone, you know, you could make almost any color work.
Well,
know?
even when I was blonde, it wasn't the same color blonde as yours.
No.
So.
And then like two, I think if you really, really love, let's say, I don't know, green. Like I'm not a huge fan of green, but I could pull it off if it's a very blue green. You know,
if I
like
wear green into the podcast studio, then I would
disappears in the wall. This would be the green room, right?
I do love a Kelly green though.
Yeah,
like
because that would look good on you.
Yeah, I like Kelly green.
Yeah,
thankfully, and I like that electric blue that's like dated now. Like 10 years ago, it came out. Here's a fun fact: like they've picked colors that we're gonna wear like 5 years from now, and they already know what we're gonna wear.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're just trying to get you to spend more money on clothes because you need the latest.
Here's the thing I don't understand though. Like if you have blue eyes, you can wear like any shade of blue.
Yeah,
right?
so that's another thing I want to bring
up.
up.
How does that work?
So the other thing is too, if you have a very striking feature, like you know how some people you look at and you're like, oh my God, their eyes just pop. So
it's my knuckles. So.
Her knuckles, she could wear beige, you know. But
my striking feature.
No, but if you have a very, like some people have this amazing hair color or these really vibrant eyes, or some people have that skin that just like it like glows from within. So you can also match color to your like most dominant feature.
Yeah.
So that's also you have to think yourself as a whole, you know. So obviously skin tone, it covers the most of your body. So that's a big thing to look at. But if the first thing people notice in you is these really striking eyes or this amazing hair color, then that should be really the dominant color that you're playing towards.
I have obviously brown eyes. You guys can see it. But I put contacts in one time to make them green, and I thought they were the most beautiful, and nobody commented. Like a whole week I went into corporate America work, nobody commented. So the next week I only wore one. That's a striking feature, I assure you.
There's some people that have that naturally.
I know. My dog's like that, but like, but that gets some attention. I can tell you that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, but there's also too, like, if you love a color, like, let's say that, I don't know, let's say that beige, I was just, oh my God, I'm so in love with that beige, and it looked terrible. I want to look like a claymation
figure.
Or like yellow. I want to look like a giant, big, sick banana. But it's one of those that you can always put something to separate
like a scarf?
you and the color. Like you could put a scarf on there, a really...
or a guy could put a cravat.
Or or like even a jacket to kind of separate it, a little bit from your face. Because it's really your face because kind of like you were saying, how certain colors, like when it comes to the contrast. So for example, if now that you're more contrast, if you wore gray, that's what's going to makes your skin look really like shallow, and you look more tired, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's where the contrast comes into play, where you start looking like sickly.
Let's talk about manipulative colors. So there are colors. Yeah. There are colors that if you're going on a first date, or you're going on an interview, or you're going somewhere else, there are colors that bring out certain emotions in other people. Like obviously, I know everybody should know red. Like, if you wear red at a wedding, probably not going to be okay. Black, like if you wear all black, certain colors that people associate with certain things, like mourning, that people associate with black. But there are colors like that are more soothing. So blue is supposed to be a soothing color, right?
Like blue, almost anybody could pull off blue.
A different shade, whatever shade.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's more forgiving than other colors.
So if somebody's going on a first date, like if you were going on a first date, what color do you think is your most like comfortable color?
So I like jewel tones in general. Like if it's in the summer, then I try to go more towards something vibrant, like a really light blue. I like things, if I'm on a date, a lot of times I'll wear blue more, because when I wear blue, it really pops my eyes. Like people notice it a lot more. And my eyes kind of change in color depending on what I wear too. So it, here we're in a green room, so they're in a green overload or whatever.
So if a guy wants a woman, going on a first date, what colors should they wear?
I think the main thing is, well, I think there's a couple things. Let me just circle back. So another good like date color is red. Red is just associated with love. Guys always notice red. Like that's always
red lipstick. Red,
yeah. So that's always something that you'll get,
but not on the guy.
Notice.
That would be
not
weird.
on the guy. So,
that would be weird.
Yeah. So for guys, I think blue is really like, I would stick to the safe colors for the guys. I wouldn't go to anything too like feminine, like pinks or
purple seems to be like a very popular color for guys lately. I went to a tennis tournament and they like some of them were wearing purple and stuff. And I think it looks okay, like the plum purple and stuff, but I wouldn't think like first date. Like,
yeah, I'm not into the pastel. Like certain guys can pull it off, but I think when it comes to, especially when you're doing things like interviews or something like that, find like everybody has a neutral palette. There is a shade of gray. Like for me, I'm not going to look good in like a light gray, but if it's more of a charcoal, it'll work a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's certain things that, and gray could be steel gray or like mushroom gray, which
or heather
to
gray
me, to me that looks terrible. But if I go towards the bluer grays, I'm much better off. So
But I think a guy really needs to think about like what they're comfortable in, because you don't want to be
that's the key thing with a guy is I think comfort factor.
You don't want to be uncomfortable. But also, like, don't just constantly wear black. Like, I can imagine if I went on a date with somebody, like, in 10 dates, I've only seen them in black. Like, I might think that they're, like, part of the Matrix or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's a little odd. Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't have to go, like, yellow, but maybe try a navy or a brown or something like that. Like, or if you have, like, my husband has light green eyes, and so like any blue or green
probably would work really
fantastic.
Good on him.
Yeah, so
even
good.
Probably like gray would probably work on him pretty well.
No, that's just his demeanor sometimes. That's
We're trying to work that out of it.
Yellow.
No, but it's definitely one of those, like, don't wear something just because the color works. Like, if you don't feel good in it, then don't wear it. Because honestly, how you feel in your clothing is more important than anything on the planet. And like I said, there's some colors that I love, but I learned, you know what, they're better as accent pieces in my home than things that I put on my body, you know?
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Like I like yellow. I think a sunny yellow is really pretty, or golds and stuff like that. But
I never wore yellow, and my husband bought me a yellow dress, and everybody like loves it. They think it looks fantastic. He thinks it looks fantastic, and now I think it looks great. But I never bought myself yellow before.
Yeah.
Like never. It was just like the perfect shade of yellow.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, when you look at like summer colors, it's bright, it's warm, like those, I mean, spring color, that's kind of that whole thing. You know?
But I think it's important, like if you're going for an interview, you need to think about the color. So I was in public accounting, and it really, you don't want to wear like a crazy suit. It really needs to be like black, navy blue, gray. Like you're looking to look dependable, responsible. They're not looking for like an orange jacket.
Yeah.
You know?
In the creative world,
Totally
different.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to dress for the interview. So same thing, like if I wore something really conservative and whatever, they're going to be like, she's probably not that creative. Yeah. Or, you know, so you really have to gauge it. I mean, I remember I interviewed at this one place. It was, they said, like, and I always try to look a little more dressed than the situation calls for, just in general, that I feel comfortable like that. If I ever feel underdressed, I'm just like, that's not a comfort factor for me. So I'd rather look nice.
Do you even own jeans?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You've seen my closets. I probably have like 50 pairs.
Yeah, that's true. Did you notice the S on the end of closets? I'm just going to point that out for our viewers.
Storage units.
I can't wait for her to find somebody, and then she'd be like, well, I really do like you, but there's no room for you in my home.
You could have the small cabinet.
In my 4-bedroom house. There's no closet space.
But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, no. So I had this interview, and they said, we're really, really, really casual. So, you know, don't dress up for the interview. So I was like, okay. And it was summer. So I wore something that still looked nice, you know.
Bikini with a cover up.
It seemed appropriate. No. So I get there, and, you know, you had to like ring, and they open the door. The guy answers the door wearing a wife beater and a pair of boxers with a hole in the back. So he turns around, he's like, follow me. And I'm seeing his like ass hairs in the back. And I was like, this is just a little too casual for me. Like, I don't
want to see ass hairs. No. But here's the thing too, is you can layer up your clothes in different colors. Like, so say I've gone on interviews, mostly accounting and stuff like that. So you want to be conservative, but maybe you want to stand out a little bit, you know, so you have like an undershirt that's maybe like a brighter color, and then you have something over. So if the person seems conservative, then you keep the jacket on. If the person that's interviewing you seems a little bit more creative and whatever, then you take you take the jacket off. You know, so in that scenario, you could have just taken your clothes off and got down to your bra and underwear. I think it would have been fine, right?
I have to wear bra and underwear.
I don't even know why she always has to go there on these shows.
You assume things.
No, back to color. Let's talk about matching colors, okay? Because like we were just talking about undergarments. Like if you plan to go on a date where it's going to lead somewhere, I think matching colors is good. If you're going to like a wedding or something like that, I don't think like, I don't like when couples, I don't care if they've been together like 1,000 years, when they're too matchy, I don't know. It just looks
that.
No.
I like that.
I want the T-shirt that says like where he's pointing to like I'm with stupid and I'm like
that kind of my stuff. Brother had that shirt. Always made me walk on the side. And there's a picture of the yearbook next to like
I think like that kind of matching is great, but like I don't know, like I it's probably because one of my favorite movies. She's like it's matchy. Seems like we're trying too hard. I do really feel like if you put in too much effort, then it's like noticeable, but in the wrong way.
I don't know. I just always thought it was kind of cool. But again, we're very different people.
Yes. completely
Yeah.
different.
But some things to keep in
But
mind.
you have to look at colors for events
Yeah.
as well as like interviews and things like that.
And one thing that I think is important too, like women, pay attention to what bra you're wearing underneath your clothes. No, but I've seen so many people where like they couldn't care less. They put on a bra and they put on a top and like, if it's spaghetti straps, don't be wearing like a real traditional bra that's hanging out all over the place. Like if it has to be something where a strap shows, then at least get something with like, more of a strap or decorative, string type, bra type. Or also, if you're wearing a black top, don't wear a white bra where it's just like bing. Like I've seen,
Or vice versa.
yeah, that's
The
yeah,
white
that's
top
happened.
with the black
bra
or the red bra.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
It depends on the look you're going for. I mean, it's bike week here in Florida right now, like in Daytona. I think anything goes for the event, but
yeah. No,
maybe not in the work setting.
But I remember I was at a networking event with somebody and they came to my house changed and they brought like this tiny, tiny little skirt that just barely covered. I mean, they had a great body, beautiful girl, lime green, like mesh top and a black bra that you saw through the mesh top, obviously. And we go to this and thigh high booties. So we go to this networking thing and, we split up, divide and conquer. And they're like, nobody wanted to talk about my business. All of them just wanted to sleep with me. And I'm like, well, if you dress like you work in the corner, like, I mean, like you have to understand how a guy's mind works. If he's like, don't look at her tits, don't look at her tits, don't look at her tits, he's not listening to what's coming out of your mouth.
I think it's hard sometimes for us women to understand, like,
guys don't.
we wear stuff that makes us feel good, but it also makes other people feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's one of the
And not that we should dress for other people and whatever. You dress for yourself, do whatever you want, but you do have to know the colors along with style and patterns and whatever evoke different feelings from other people.
Yeah. And on the occasion too, like I have this one family member that whenever we go to a family function, they always dress a little too revealing for their size, and then they're flailing all over the place and everyone's seeing everything that we don't need to see. So also keep in context what you're going to be doing, keep that in mind,
Yeah, but you're going to be interviewing people. Don't wear boxers with a hole in the back. It's just crazy town.
Yeah. Crazy.
And here's the last thing, that I don't think you should wear leggings that are the same color as your legs.
Oh, yeah, then you look naked. Yeah.
Yes. I've seen it. Do not enjoy it. I don't care what body you have. Like,
yeah, that just looks a whole level of
it's creating this optical illusion that is just not okay.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think
that
like there's a reason, and I had this conversation with somebody and they're like, well, there's a reason why they make like, beige leggings. I'm like, yes, for people that have darker skin. They can wear beige. If your skin is beige, you can't wear beige leggings. Like,
yeah, or if you're like so white, so pale that,
No, do not wear them the same color skin tone.
No, I've seen
I
that.
saw it in the supermarket too. Like around food.
Yeah.
We gotta close things out.
Oh, no.
Next episode, we're gonna be talking about faith-based decisions versus fear-based decisions, which I think is really impactful because I have realized that a lot of my decisions, I try to control the outcome because it's fear-based. And when I've stepped back now and try to just faith-based, it's less stressful and a lot easier to make those decisions. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I'm pretty nonchalant. People always kid with me, like, like how could you be laughing at, at a funeral or something like that? And
maybe they were wearing the wrong color in the casket. Your skin tone is definitely different.
That doesn't go with gray, But it's one of those that like people are just always amazed, like why I'm so happy, and they're like, don't you ever like freak out? I'm like, I don't sweat the big stuff, let alone the small stuff. Like that's just my philosophy. So people who worry, I don't get. Like I can't relate to that. But it's definitely an interesting thing to discuss. I think there's a lot of epiphanies that happen over my life that I've definitely seen it shape who I am, for sure.
Yeah, well.
So until then, never stop laughing.
And never stop learning. We'll see you soon.